Stop what you're doing and ask yourself, what if everything you've been taught about freedom is completely wrong? Harvard research shows that 93% of millennials report feeling lost, despite having more personal choices than any generation in history. The problem isn't lack of freedom, it's too much freedom without direction. Throughout this video we'll explore the revolutionary wisdom from Jordan Peterson and Ryan Holiday that could completely transform how you view responsibility. Their insights reveal why responsibility isn't a burden, it's the hidden pathway to meaning. And the third principle, which we'll uncover by the end, might be the missing piece that transforms your entire approach to personal growth. Look around you. We live in an age of unprecedented options, technology, and comfort. Yet depression, anxiety, and suicide rates have skyrocketed. Something isn't adding up. Most of us were told that finding ourselves meant following our passion, seeking happiness, and expressing our authentic selves. But what if that advice is precisely what's creating this modern identity crisis? As Jordan Peterson powerfully states, responsibility gives life meaning. But our culture pushes a very different message. Follow your bliss, prioritize self-care, and avoid anything uncomfortable. The result? A generation adrift in a sea of meaninglessness. The Harvard Business Review recently reported that 9 out of 10 young professionals feel a profound lack of purpose despite having more career options than previous generations. This isn't just a personal problem, it's a cultural epidemic. What if this emptiness isn't something to escape, but a signal pointing toward something greater? What if responsibility isn't the opposite of freedom, but its foundation? Today we're exploring how the ancient wisdom of responsibility might be the revolutionary answer to our modern crisis of meaning. The path forward isn't about finding yourself. It's about building yourself through what you're willing to sustain. And it all begins with understanding the true nature of identity in a world that's forgotten what it means to stand for something. When was the last time someone asked you, "Who are you?" Did you answer with your job title, your relationship status, your political stance? Or did you freeze, realizing you don't really know? Jordan Peterson describes identity as a ladder between heaven and earth, between what we believe and what we actually do. He calls this Jacob's ladder, a powerful symbol where faith meets responsibility. But most of us have lost this connection. Modern identity has collapsed into mere preference. Who am I? Has become, what do I want right now? This shift has left millions feeling hollow, chasing temporary desires instead of building lasting character. Consider Jim Carrey's profound admission during his speech at Maharishi University. "I thought my purpose was to free people from concern through comedy. But I discovered that everyone's already free, they just don't know it yet." Even after achieving fame, wealth, and adoration, Carrey found himself asking, "So what now?" Psychologists call this existential vacuum, when achievement without meaning creates a crushing emptiness. Without structure, the human psyche collapses in on itself. This is where responsibility enters as the surprising antidote. Responsibility isn't punishment, it's architecture for your soul. When you commit to something beyond yourself, you begin building an identity that can withstand chaos. As Ryan Holiday reminds us, the obstacle is the way. Your challenges aren't preventing you from finding yourself, they're the very materials from which you construct yourself. Identity isn't discovered, it's forged through what you're willing to carry. Ask yourself, are you what you feel or what you sustain? Are you your momentary desires, or what you're willing to stand for when those desires fade? The difference is striking. A life without purpose resembles a room without furniture. Empty space with nothing to organize your existence around. But a life structured around responsibilities creates meaning through the simple act of showing up day after day. Building your identity ladder requires daily actions. Small commitments that connect your highest ideals to your everyday choices. Like a bridge under construction, each responsibility you accept creates another support beam. But what if this crisis isn't just personal? What if our entire culture has forgotten how to build these ladders between aspiration and action? Follow your feelings has become the mantra of our age. But the evidence is clear. It's failing us spectacularly. Depression rates have doubled in the last decade. Anxiety disorders affect over 40 million American adults. Something fundamental is breaking down. We've created a society that glorifies self-expression while neglecting self-development. Social media platforms have turned identity into performance, likes and follows substituting for genuine character. As Jordan Peterson explains, you don't get to be happy unless you're aiming at something. Happiness isn't a destination. It's the byproduct of pursuing something meaningful. When we make happiness itself the goal, it constantly eludes us. Consider the real-life story of Chris Gardner, whose journey inspired the pursuit of happiness. What transformed Gardner from homeless to successful wasn't a pursuit of happiness. It was his unwavering commitment to small, disciplined actions. Washing in public bathrooms. Studying for exams after putting his son to sleep in a subway station. Showing up impeccably dressed to interviews despite sleeping in shelters. These weren't glamorous choices. They were responsibilities he accepted. Mundane rituals that eventually built an extraordinary life. This is what Ryan Holiday means when he says, discipline equals freedom. True freedom isn't the absence of constraints. It's having the character to choose meaningful constraints. It's the paradox that limits, when properly chosen, create possibility rather than restricting it. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote his private meditations reminding himself that self-mastery was the true revolution. Not controlling others but controlling himself. Look around your room right now. Is it organized or chaotic? Jordan Peterson's famous advice, clean your room, isn't just about tidiness. It's profound psychological insight. Your external environment reflects and reinforces your internal state. When you bring order to what's immediately around you, you begin creating order within yourself. He tells the story of patients who start their recovery by simply putting an object, like a teddy bear, on a shelf where it belongs. This small victory over chaos becomes the first step toward larger victories. What can you organize today that reflects who you want to become? What small responsibility can you accept that builds rather than diminishes your sense of self? Remember, identity flows from micro to macro. Character isn't formed through grand gestures but through daily habits. The person who keeps small promises to themselves builds the capacity to keep larger promises to others. But the true revolution doesn't end with personal transformation. It scales to something much bigger. Are you enjoying this video? Don't forget to hit that like button. The modern condition can be summed up in 5 devastating words. Nothing depends on me anymore. This disconnection, feeling irrelevant to anything larger than our own comfort, might be the root of our collective depression. Our culture has confused rights with duties, creating what psychologists call victimhood culture, where avoiding responsibility becomes a virtue. But this approach leaves us powerless, waiting for someone else to create meaning for us. Jordan Peterson cuts through this confusion. You want to make your life better? Start by fixing what's in front of you. This simple advice contains revolutionary power. It places agency back in your hands. Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL commander turned leadership expert, built his entire philosophy around extreme ownership. His mantra, "There are no bad teams, only bad leaders," reminds us that leadership begins with taking responsibility for everything within your control. When something fails, the first question isn't, who's to blame, but what could I have done differently? This principle scales beyond individuals. Consider Team Rubicon, an organization of veterans who deploy to disaster zones worldwide. These former soldiers found renewed purpose not through self-expression, but through service to communities in crisis. Their motto, "Bridge the Gap," reflects how responsibility connects personal meaning with collective purpose. Ryan Holiday would call this the highest expression of virtue, using your strength to carry burdens that benefit others. This stands in stark contrast to our culture's growing infantilization, where adults increasingly expect institutions to protect them from discomfort rather than developing the resilience to face it. The ancient Stoics understood that virtue isn't just about personal excellence, it's about contribution to the whole. Cicero wrote that we are not born for ourselves alone, recognizing that meaning emerges when we expand our circle of concern beyond our immediate desires. Ask yourself, what does the world lose when you refuse your calling? What walls remain unbuilt? What wounds remain untreated? What wisdom remains unshared when you shrink from responsibility? In religious traditions, the city of God represents the ideal community, a place where each person fulfills their purpose within a harmonious whole. This isn't just spiritual metaphor, it's a blueprint for meaningful existence. The city rises not through individual self-actualization, but through collective commitment to something transcendent. You are a link between generations, a crucial rung on humanity's ladder. The responsibilities you accept today create possibilities for those who will follow tomorrow. We've journeyed from chaos to calling, from the modern identity crisis to the revolutionary power of responsibility. Along the way, we've seen how identity forms at the intersection of belief and action, how meaningless pleasure ultimately creates emptiness, and how accepting responsibility connects personal growth with collective purpose. As Jordan Peterson reminds us, there's nothing better than to take responsibility for your life. This isn't just advice, it's an invitation to participate in the most important revolution of our time, the quiet uprising of individuals who refuse to drift in meaninglessness. In a world obsessed with rights, comfort, and self-expression, choosing responsibility is the ultimate counterculture statement. It declares that you are willing to carry weight, to bear discomfort, to stand for something beyond momentary desire. The path isn't easy. Responsibility demands sacrifice. But what it offers in return, meaning, purpose, character, can't be found anywhere else. What are you willing to sustain to live with purpose? What burdens are you prepared to shoulder? What ladder are you building between your highest ideals and your daily actions? If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Share your thoughts in the comments about how responsibility has created meaning in your life. Remember, the world you wish to see isn't waiting for someone else to build it. It's waiting for you to accept the responsibility of becoming a builder. Hey, incredible growth seekers! Wow, what a journey! If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week, boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.